Hi, everybody. I don't know if there is anyone here because it's spontaneous. I just wanted to get something out of my system since I was, doing my own business, getting ready to finish up and go to sleep. And I was listening to XCA Spy reveals shocking truth about UK immigration crisis. Andrew Bustamante, I don't know how to say his name, while he was talking to Andrew Gold. And at some point, they started talking about the consequences of Iran nuking Israel from the north to the south, all the way through, completely annihilating millions of people and basically destroying the Israeli population. Would it kill Israel or would it not? Would Israel survive as a nation or would it survive as a country, as an identity or not? And he started talking about like how only the government is actually the country, and you can also have a country if your government is in exile and things like that, which honestly speaking, like the way he tried to justify that it didn't make sense to attack the nuclear facilities of Iran by saying that Israel would survive even if its entire population would die was kind of like, what kind of mumbo jumbo in your head made you think that it makes sense to make those kind of arguments, like the implications of what you're saying? Did you think it through? You whatever. Obviously, like he justifies it by saying like, oh, but now they can go ahead and purchase nukes from North Korea, which they can purchase nuke from North Korea and China and whatever, and then do the same thing even if they don't have the facilities themselves. But it buys time, and time is important. Time is important, and everything is about a race against time. And I think that people who are more than willing to dry up their country completely to the point where the rivers are empty, the dams are empty, and there is literally buildings sinking, entire cities sinking. And when I say sinking, I mean like huge holes, like opening up in the ground. I believe they can nuke other countries because they are effing nuking themselves already. Without any nukes, they managed to nuke their own country, which is amazing. But here is why I'm here. Because in the end of the day, like this whole argument kind of made me laugh and cry at the same time. Because it already happened. What he is describing here, what I'm going to show you, has already happened. And I'm going to explain. Just let's hear it first. So depressing. And by the way, after that, I'm gonna rant on the situation in the United States because I got to hear some people who live there and tell me that it's absolutely catastrophic. People are not just parading their insanity on social media, but in real life too, and it's depressing. And the other thing is that Israel and Netanyahu basically admitted that we are under a very severe strain when it comes to our economy because all the divest, boycott movements that are around, which is the way Israel was until the Oslo Accords. So this is the thing with the Oslo Accords; it was catastrophical. We paid with so much blood, but at least it wasn't only a Subaru that we could buy. But you know what? I'll go back to that because I think some overview of Israel's economy and how it was always under siege is like it's something that maybe I should also give you the background to. But I also want to say, guys, now it's different because now the entire sane world is under siege. So how about we start cooperating with each other so that we would have alternative ways of trading with each other? Just look for sanity. I want some sanity. All right, let me play the video and then I'll explain how the scenario he is describing already happened. Which is so depressing. Let's not go that. Let's just not do it again. Thank you. All right.
Is different in that, firstly, it has an ideology that subscribes to this whole, martyr and 72 virgins for everybody who blows people up and blows themselves up. And secondly, because they've explicitly said we want to destroy America and Israel. So when they tell you what they're going to do and then they start uranium enrichment, is that a difference maybe?
Yes, it's a difference because
so basically before that they were talking about different countries and why they would want nukes, and then Andrew Gold brings up the fact that the Iranian regime is absolutely lunatic and crazy and suicidal, and if it matters in the grand scheme of things, and apparently it does matter if this curly guy weirdo agrees with that.
If you stop to think about it critically, if you get past the rhetoric and think about it critically, how would you destroy? Israel's smaller than the United States and much closer. How are they going to destroy Israel? How are they going to do it? Are they going to drop a bomb in Tel Aviv? Are they going to rain 5 bombs from north to south and just turn the whole piece of land into like a nuclear wasteland? If they do, does that destroy Israel? Are they trying to destroy Israel at all? Or are they trying to destroy Judaism? Right? When you start to actually think about it critically, you can't help but land on, is it just crazy ass rhetoric? Or is it actually something that they have a plan to do? Because to truly destroy something like Israel, especially if you did use nuclear weapons.
Now, bear the mumbo jumbo of whatever he's saying, right? Obviously, for any sane person, it just sounds like a moment of a shroom trip or something. Hang in there, listen through, because it actually happened already, the situation he's describing. And I'm gonna elaborate, I promise. I swear it already happened. Historically, it already happened. And I don't want to go through that kind of crap again. So please, let's not.
Weapons. If you use nuclear weapons, you would kill a bunch of Israel citizens for sure. And then the whole world would come back on you.
But if you're a martyr, if you're like an ideological lunatic,
and you're dead, then you're dead.
You don't care though.
We don't care.
Having sex with all the virgins.
Go knock it out, guys. Yeah. If that's what you think is waiting for you on the other side, you're going to fail in your mission to destroy Israel.
Do you think?
And you're going to fail in your life.
Well, would it fail if they nuclear bombed Israel? That's the end of Israel.
That's not the end of Israel. See, This is the thing that people don't understand. Existential threats are not threats to people. Your country doesn't care about you. My country doesn't.
Honestly, guy, dude, like, I don't know. What would make a person just go dive into that kind of rabbit hole in argumentation? I just, just because something, it might be true, it might, I don't know. At some point, can you not stop and think, hey, what am I effing saying?
Doesn't care about me. If you are Israeli, your country doesn't care about you. Like governments do not care about their citizens. Governments care about the continuation of their governance. That's what defines a country, right? That's how you can have a leader who leaves their country in exile and still runs a government from a different country, because it's not about the people. It's about the establishment of government. So destroying Israel would mean to destroy the idea of the Jewish state, to destroy the idea of a sovereign Jewish state. That's not going to happen with a nuclear weapon. You're going to cause a lot of damage, but it's not going to be the end. That's the problem we have with Iran. Destroying the theocracy of Iran is so much bigger than just killing the Ayatollah, right? And if you do kill the Ayatollah, how do you know you don't just strengthen the ideology that is?
Do you notice what he's comparing here? Did you notice? He compared the annihilation of the whole citizenry to a one person. He said, just like eliminating the Ayatollah would not be the end of the theocracy that is Iran, so would annihilating every single Jew and Israeli in general, and the Arabs here, obviously, we're together in the same boat here when it comes to that. That would also, obviously it's the same comparison, bro.
I wonder though if the difference is that you've got 2 billion Muslims in the world. So if you killed like a bunch of people in Iran, there's people to take their place. Whereas Israel is half the Jewish population in the world. So
Okay.
from 15 million, it suddenly goes down to like 6 million.
Yeah. To your exact point, there are still people to take their place.
Potentially. I mean, how many people in New York? I mean, because that's where the rest of the Jews are, apart from smatterings elsewhere.
Honestly, like, have you seen New York Jews? Let's be honest, it's gonna kill Judaism completely. Have you seen them? Like, honestly, do you think that they represent what Judaism needs to be? But that's another story anyway.
Move to Israel in this sort of barren wasteland that you probably can't even go to for years.
So again, it's if you're, I want to make sure we're having a conversation that's on the same kind of topic, right? I'm saying unless you define what you're destroying to destroy Israel, if all you're saying is they nuked the land, then they haven't destroyed Israel. They've destroyed the lands of Israel, but they haven't destroyed Israel. For all we know, nuclear bombs would come in and the government would survive in bunkers. For all we know, the government, they
All right, then wait a couple of years and they're gonna be gone too. They're kind of old. What do you mean the government?
already have a chain of.
Guess what? Most of the government has their kids also fighting. Or, Eisenkot had his son. He lost his son when I think he was in the government. And now, in the last couple of years, what are you talking about? Like, what a delusional world does this person live in?
Of survivability, and a whole new government is already sitting and residing in the United States somewhere, just in case of an all-out attack. Right? Does that mean Israel's been destroyed? No. If anything,
I love it.
The bomb.
This is after he compared the Ayatollah to the entire population of Israel. Like, it's the same thing. This guy is sick. But the funny thing here, that in his sickness, I don't know if he knows, but he already described perfectly well a situation that has already happened. And I swear, I swear, I know, I promised, I'm gonna explain exactly how it already happened. But let's not do that again, okay?
There's going to be lightning in the sky, and then the next day, Israel's going to say, we're still here, just to make Iran look bad. So even if they were to kill millions of people, millions of Jews, millions of Israelis, Israel would still stand. And that's the point I'm trying to make. The idea that we preemptively struck them because they were an imminent existential threat is actually not factually true. They are they could have been an imminent nuclear threat.
All right.
That could be true.
The crap he's gonna say from now on deserves like a different reaction, but I want to explain something. So there are things that you described here. First is the elimination of Israelis. Second is supposed outside government that kind of survives. And then the complete scorching of the land to a point where it's unlivable because it was nuked. I don't want to go through that again. Okay, we went through that. This is what the Romans did to the Jews. The Romans annihilated all the Jewish population. There were millions, right? Millions, about the same number as there are now. They killed all of them. And 300,000 survived. Some of them were the sages that wrote the Talmud and the Mishnah. And not only that did the Romans kill all the Jews, and then later on the Byzantines also completed the job by killing all the Samaritans. They scorched the land. They set fires everywhere. It was a livable land that became a barren desert. And it was a barren desert for almost 2,000 years till the Jews came back to the land. It happened. The situation he's describing had already happened. It did. Yes, as crazy as it sounds, it happened. But honestly speaking, the disasters that would come and befall on the world as a result would be just as, if not way more catastrophic. The fall of the Roman Empire followed. The death of millions. And I think it would be even worse this time, because not only that it is a nihilistic, degenerate world that we're living in, just the way it was during the Roman time, there is something beyond degeneracy and nihilism that is now very dominant, and that is the complete satanic ideology of Islam. Anyway, let's listen to this mumbo jumbo a little bit longer, because after that he explains why he's an idiot and why he is, oh my God, an idiot.
True, but that's not what we called them. We called them an imminent existential threat. Well, guess what? They still exist. They're still an existential threat by the definition of what you're trying to say, right? They may have their nuclear capability.
Well, it's not an existential friend. And I sang Look Only. I was like, she is the most boring teacher ever. It's like a stone substitute. You don't have to be here, sweetheart. You know what's special about me? That I give you lessons nobody would give you. Nowhere. Right? So you're gonna have to survive how boring I am if you want to get the data. It's good data.
Degraded, but it's not destroyed. If anything, they're motivated now to find their way to a nuclear weapon some other way. One of the advantages that we've had with Iran is that Iran wanted I'm losing my vocabulary on this one. They wanted a indigenous nuclear capability, which means they wanted to be able to build their entire nuclear capability from the ground up inside Iran. They didn't want to have to borrow technology from Russia or North Korea or China. They didn't want to have to borrow or get any help. They wanted it to be indigenous. Well, we just wiped out their indigenous enrichment.
That is exactly.
We don't know how much it's actually destroyed.
Why would they want it indigenous? Maybe people weren't as keen to cooperate with them as this Quay thinks either. I don't know.
So are they willing now to stop focusing on indigenous capability and go to friends? Because they are literally like they can ring on the doorbell of Kim Il Sung and get actual weapon warheads right now. They can get medium range ballistic missiles from Russia. They can get guidance systems from China. They can borrow Iraqi militia that are already sympathetic to their cause in Iraq, and they can bring in a short range ballistic missile that's got a nuclear tipped warhead from Iraq.
Do you think it was a mistake then to go in?
Absolutely.
Bro, nothing you just said made sense. Nothing. First of all, like you have, what, do you not know history? Do you not know that Iran and Turkey and Russia had always have this, triangle of fighting? And like, I know because my family is from Georgia, so believe me, they suffered from being under the Turks and under the Persians and under the Russians. And by the way, the Russians are the least worst of them. Like when you are under the Turks or the Persians and the Russians come, that's liberation. Just so you know how bad that is. So no, it wouldn't make sense necessarily that this kind of action is actually possible for them. Not necessarily. Right? So please explain, how do you overcome that a little bit of struggle a little bit of history, right? A little bit of like, I don't know. Maybe the Chinese understand the difference between different ideologies. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're stupid. I don't know. The Americans are kind of stupid. They clearly didn't understand the difference between communism and jihadism. But whatever. When you smile, you look like you're saying, eh. Thank you. Anyway, I just wanted to vent this crap out of my system.
Absolutely. I think what the United States did by dropping bunker busters in a limited conflict activity was just a showpiece.
Little bitch. They sent so many ballistic missiles our way. You little bitch, limited connectivity. Just because we had superior technology and worked super hard to prevent what they were doing doesn't, just because they failed, it doesn't mean that it wasn't there. Just failed. It's different. You know, it's one thing when there was nothing happening, and it's different. It's like, oh, they failed, so nothing happened. No, you idiot. What an idiot.
It was just an opportunity for the president and for Pete Hegseth to show off American capabilities. It didn't really have any significant strategic benefits. If we have degraded.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree with the one thing. They should have went all the way and removed that regime.
Them so that they can still develop a weapon in 3 years. That's not what the goal was.
Baruch Hashem, in 3 years, they're going to have absolutely no water. And I want to see how many executions there are going to be in the street by the mob. Let's be fun. It's going to be fun, sir. You're ignoring some things in your calculations. And let me tell you, like having them being 2 weeks away from a nuclear bomb is not the same as having them 3 years away from a nuclear bomb, because, you know, I don't know, in 3 years, the chances of miracle happening is way higher. Ugh. And I'm like, why this world becomes so stupid?
Goal was to stop their nuclear enrichment program. At least that's what I understood the goal to be. Maybe they didn't state a goal at all, right? Maybe this was all just
I'm
show.
Stupid. I'm so
Do you think
stupid.
Trump is angling for a Nobel Peace Prize?
Not anymore.
Well, that's why he was swearing, wasn't it? Because it's like, you've blown my chance.
Okay, that's it. I lost interest in the rest of it. I didn't listen all the way, sir. And I was like, okay, that's it. Like, there is a limit to how much idiocracy and stupidity I can tolerate. It's pretty low. I'm gonna be honest. Shutter saying YouTube Israelis don't get it. Israel is in deep trouble. Oh, we get it, sweetheart. But we lived through all those troubles so many times. You don't understand how much we went through. Holocaust? That's just another chapter, sir. Wasn't even the worst one. God damn it. Why do we insist on bringing you the Torah and bringing the world those good values? You fucking morons don't deserve it. Die with your nihilism and satanism the way you deserve to. Ugh, disgustings. You're welcome. We tried, okay? We brought, like even dressed up nicely for you with like a pagan figure so that you would like have Christianity and stuff like that. Crap. Like, go, you know? You can keep the Torah, but I don't want you to be destroyed, you idiot. We're getting destroyed because we brought you the Torah. So all the evildoers and psychopaths of the world want to get rid of us for bringing that Torah to you. And it's very simple. Like, it sounds like, oh, I'm religious. No, it's not religious. It's just basic psychological factors of humanity, just the way we act. And this is what, like, so Charlie Kirk got assassinated. Trump, and people effing celebrate it. And those who don't celebrate him, you know what my uncle told me? That even those who don't celebrate it, they compare it to January 6th. How can you compare it to January 6th? It's not the same at all. The gaslighting is in such a high level right now. It's a world fight. You know something? Unlike every other time, you know what's different? There was no Christianity during the annihilation of the Jewish people, of the nuke throwing that happened to us 2,000 years ago by the Romans. There was no Christianity. I don't think Christianity was brought to this world without a reason. I think that the fact that Christianity exists makes all the difference. It means that we're gonna have allies. Yes, some of those allies are, you know, the kind of they're like they claim to be Christians, but they only took the pagan part of Christianity, meaning they literally follow the Roman god of the sun and act accordingly and follow all the Roman, all the everything that was under the Roman perspective. And like obviously they don't really follow Jesus because he was a Jew, so they throw Jesus away, but they follow the Roman part of it 100%. Yes, I know those are still the Romans, and they are still our enemies. But there are plenty of people, way more people now that understand what's at stake. Way more. So it's not the same thing. And I'm gonna say it outright. Just like all the patriots of England went out to the street and said, without Christianity, there is no England. Guess what? Christianity is Judaism. In fact, it diverted so little out of it, unless you follow the pagan version of it, that it is the same religion. And they're fighting all of us, everybody who believes in the values that were brought to the world through the Torah. So it's a worldwide fight. Those who want a society that functions, those who celebrate life versus those who celebrate death. And we can see it, it's so easy, right? What are they supporting? Supporting abortions. They're supporting the complete destruction of the family unit. There's what are they supporting? And by the way, the Muslims, don't be confused. The Muslims are just as satanic. They just know how to pretend to know that there are no good Muslim families. A Muslim family is a destroyed family. When you see a Muslim family that is functioning, is despite and not thanks to. So this kind of talk, we went through it already. The Jews didn't give up. The Jews were annihilated. They were. My earring fell. What it is, the land was scorched, and nobody could live here. And guess what? No entity. And nobody wanted, like the population here kept declining. This land was dead. It was a land of war until the Jews came back. Judaism, with its ideas, hopefully some people would pick it up. But if you pick it up without those who know it, the amount of work you'd have to put in just to crawl back or out of the deep shithole the world is plummeting itself into, is it worth it? Isn't it better to fight now? I think it's better to fight now. God bless America the way it's supposed to be, not those woke idiots. God bless the United Kingdom. God bless those who follow the Torah, whether or not it's with through Jesus or through just directly. God bless those who want to celebrate life and fight for life. And thank you, Uncle Coping. Ask Rebecca to poll how many be drinking now. I didn't drink. I just got angry. I'm just tired, honestly. I came back from a workout. I was listening to the scrap, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I felt like doing, it's people make fun of Netanyahu the way he reacted to when he was asked by the Fox News like about the Mossad conspiracy that Israel assassinated Charlie Kirk, and his reaction was something like, I cannot not this crap again kind of reaction. That's like what I think he was like, not this shit again. And yeah, and I'm sorry, until the Oslo Accords, you could only get a Subaru in Israel. You can get a cola, but not a Pepsi. It was like under complete embargo. And we had to sacrifice thousands of our people for the lunacy that was called the Oslo Accords, with people dying and kids getting blown up in parties and in buses and everything like that, for the delusion of the United States and the world. And now the whole world is enjoying the consequences of being delusional, deprived, and disgusting. Fight for your countries. Fight for your values. It's worth it. All right, everybody, I'm gonna go. I think I have said everything that was on my mind. Good night.